Hi guys, and welcome back. Today is the day. It is the day we are going to be touring my bookshelves, which if you haven't seen, last week or a couple weeks ago, I redid all of my shelves. Basically, we just flipped them and then completely reorganized everything, which for me, a girly who hates change and who has had the same bookshelf organization for 3 years, this is kind of crazy and I'm still getting used to it. Like when I go to look for a book, I'm like, where is that? But it's making my brain work a little bit, so that's good. So let's hop right on into the tour and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, I'm gonna start with my small shelf right when you walk into my room. This one is kind of a little bit random, but it's mostly like fiction, some fantasy, and some mystery. Here is what it looks like from a distance, and then up close I have my Crescent City books here. I did see that the third one came out in this edition, so I do eventually need to get that hopefully. But yeah, this is my Crescent City section. This is definitely more Throne of Glass oriented, but I didn't have room on my favorite shelf for it, so just putting that there. Next we have some fantasy books. So Jade City, I tried to read this when I was in a slump and then I did not end up finishing it. And then Discovery of Witches, I think that's a show. And then this entire stack I have not read yet. We just have some mystery, some dark academia, and then we go down to Stephen King. I think this one's just like a summer mystery, and this one's maybe this one too, and then this is dark academia. Also randomly Matthew McConaughey's memoir, not memoir, autobiography, whatever the hell it's called, and Stephen King books. I have not read these. And then on this side, I did read Listen for the Lie. I actually listened to like an hour of the Thursday Murder Club on Libby the other day, but I just wasn't really in the mood for it, so I soft DNF'd it. The Paris novel, I really want to read this, and same with Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I just can't stop thinking about these two books. Rock, Paper, Scissors is my favorite thriller I've ever read. That is that set, kind of like a red and white vibe. Down here, this is just mostly like green and blue fiction books pretty much, plus some authors and then other books. So I have Atmosphere by TJR. My other Taylor Jenkins Reads books are actually downstairs because I just don't have room for them all up here. The Amalfi Curse, again, I really want to read this immediately. This came out this year. My friends loved it, 5 stars. Oh, Atmosphere was like a 4.25, so love that as well. Down here next to my friends, I have the Beartown series. I've been like in the middle of Us Against You, the second one, for like months now, but it's just like a heavier book and there's so many characters in it, so I really have to be in the mood for it. House on the Cerulean Sea, Wayward, Wilder Girls, The One. This is kind of like a fall-y book. Everything I Know About Love, The Wishing Game, Pitch to You. So yeah, just some really high on my TBR fiction books on that side. And then these two I did read. I just thought they looked good together, like the colors. The Favorites by Lane Fargo and then Wild Dark Shore, both like 4.5 reads. Tomorrow I have not read. Ballad of Songbirds I have read. This is kind of just random here, but I have the Haymitch book too, but I'm loaning that to someone, so it's not here. This stack, we have Ministry of Time up top. We have Plot Twist, Storied Life of A.J. Fikry. I loved this book. I really don't think about it that often, but when I do, I'm like, aw. A Little Life, I'm so scared of this book. And then some Olivia Blake books. And then Aaron Craig. I read the first one in this series. I don't own it though. I think I got it from the library, but I got the second one and then her other book. And then Air by Sabaa Tahir. I cannot wait to read this because I loved the Ember Nashes series. All right, next up, the pretties, we'll call them. I think I'll start with my favorites up top, just because you guys have probably heard me talk about them a million times, and I like completely changed how it's organized and I freaking love it. Like this shelf reorganization was one of the best things I've ever done. I actually am obsessed. I kept these in the same area, my Magnolia Parks books, but I added these two. So this is the new covers, the shoe covers, and then the original ones of Magnolia Parks, and these are cards from Emmy Lawless's website, the cover designer. This is from, I think, Anthropology, and I just had to get it, and since I don't really have my own kitchen yet, I'm just gonna keep it here by my Magnolia books until I actually like drink out of it. Conditions of Will, Magnolia Parks special edition. This is just one of my most prized possessions and I so badly want the rest of the series. That's just such an investment and I don't have this shelf space. And then her new book will actually have to go up here eventually too, unless I paid it. The Windy City series, absolutely loved. Probably like my favorite interconnected romance series ever. And then this is just a stack of some random favorites. We have Metal Slinger, which is a fantasy book that I absolutely loved. 5 stars. It just came out in paperback, so I had to support. Remarkably Bright Creatures, loved this book with my whole heart. Under the Surface, this isn't necessarily a favorite, but it was my first and only ever ARC I got sent. I had to put it up here for the memes. I actually had a card she wrote me too, but I don't know where that went, but it usually goes up here. The Nightingale, one of my favorite books of all time. Unwanted, Mia Sheridan. This was just such a fun like mystery romance book. I highly recommend. I have the ACOTAR original covers. I got these off Mercari. I paid a pretty penny, but I think my pretty penny was less than what they normally go for. So I have the Lego roses in this like clear Target dollar section vase. I thought that looked perfect next to A Court of Thorns and Roses, obviously. This apple is just kind of random. I found it at in the estate sale. I just thought it was pretty and it kind of fits the fantasy vibe, so that just is there. I have the ACOTAR coloring book, which I'm so scared to actually color in because I feel like I'm gonna ruin it. Throne of Glass, My Pride and Joy, My Children, and guys, I may or may not have started a reread the other day. Prepare to be sick of me. Prepare to actually be sick of me. And then I have all the other Fourth Wing books back here, but Fourth Wing is my favorite, so I wanted that one front and center. I have this little crochet dragon I got from a little local shop. It kind of gives Andarna vibes, so I kept that. This I got from the midnight release party. And then I have the wing leader hat that I look actually terrible in, but it is the one hat I own and I feel like everyone needs one. I have my bookmarks and then my other paperbacks of ACOTAR. I don't know why I didn't move them over here, but I just kind of like Throne of Glass being there, I guess. I don't know. Okay, and then I guess we will start with the romance shelf. Let's just do it, I guess. This top shelf I kind of tried to make my favorite authors, but some of these books I also haven't read and or may not be like all-time favorites. But starting with this side, Emily Henry is down here. I need to get my paperback copy of Beach Read to put here, but it is in my mom's room right now, so I need to get that. Okay, I love these hardcovers. I also might take this out and display it. I'm not sure though. And then Sarah Adams. I love her books. They're just so easy and simple. This is just like a little Polaroid holder thing I have. It fits perfectly there. Say Remember Me, of course, my favorite book of the year. And then some more favorite authors, Abby Jimenez, Ashley Poston, and then I just thought Passion Project looked cute up here. I don't know. That is this stack. Again, I also might take like Say Remember Me paperback out and display it something. I'm not sure yet. It just depends if I get more books eventually. This is mostly hardcover Catherine Center and also a hardcover romance I have that just like looks like one of her books kind of. I have read these two of Catherine Center's and I absolutely love her, especially her older books. I've been really enjoying those. These two just looked cute together. I don't know. They're part of a series. I have not read them yet though. And then this is like probably my favorite stack of my shelves, my like ombre white to pink. This book I've had forever. I know all that went down with her and I don't necessarily plan on reading it, but I did buy it like 2 years ago, so I just kept it. Every Last Words. These two are like little YA romance books. Mia Sheridan, I'm so excited to read more of her because I loved Archer's Voice and then Unwanted, so I'm really excited to get to that. Addicted to You, I'm so scared to start this series, but I feel like I'm gonna love it. Latcher, I didn't necessarily love, but I love the covers. I could not get rid of it. Icebreaker, still haven't read. Dating Dr. Dill. Float, this is like a YA. It originally came from Wattpad, so like love. Just a YA like summer romance. It was really fun. Then some Lucy Score books. This is another one of my favorite stacks. We have my like cowboy romance stack. So it starts with the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and these spines just are beautiful. I love them. And then the Elsie Silver Chestnut Springs series. I'm currently reading Powerless. Guys, it's giving big energy. It's giving big energy, and that is coming from someone who did not love Flawless or Heartless and really didn't even like enjoy them. And then I just have Wild Love by her because I don't know it, whatever. Then my Lauren Asher books. I have read the fine print, but I haven't continued the series yet, and I really want to get to this one because I feel like I actually enjoyed the fine print more than I thought I would. And then this stack is kind of by author again, and then at the top it just kind of gets random. So we have Allie Hazelwood down here, Elena Armas, Tessa Bailey, and then these are just like blue books that I thought matched. Shipped was like set on a cruise ship, and it was like they were like enemies. And then Out of the Woods I really want to read like immediately. I just got that. Again, some kind of by author, but then also Summer in the Cities randomly here. So this is Christina Lauren. I really actually enjoy her books. I've read Love in Other Words and then The Unhoneymooners like years ago, and I just recently read The Paradise Problem. And then another colorful stack, my favorite. This is a blue one, obviously, so it starts with Lucy Score. I am slightly annoyed that her books all aren't together, but I love the like ombre rainbow stacks too much. 32 Days in May. I actually just DNF'd this about a month ago, but the cover's too pretty, and maybe I'll give it another chance. Archer's Voice, loved Always Be My Duchess. The Bromance Book Club, If You Ask Me, The World's Next Door. This book, it's about like they live on this small island, and then I think he's a prince and he moves in next door to her, and then they fall in love, and I really like that one. That was such a fun time. All right, next shelf we have How Fitting, because today actually the first episode came out, and can we just say I have struggled through the first 20 minutes of it. That's as far as I've gotten. I was just like, oh god, this is kind of, it's a little tough to get through if you're on the right side. I think, aren't they coming out every week? Ugh. See, I'm such a binger, I can't do that, but it gives me something to look forward to. Anyway, back to the program. And then, yeah, this is kind of a rainbow stack, but also just like random. Love Interest, Claire Gilmore, Lucky Leap Day, The X-Files, As Seen on TV, The Godparent Trap. I have never seen the Parent Trap movie. I'm very uncultured with movies, so I kind of want to watch the movie and then read this. I think that'd be fun. This I got in a blind date with a book. It's like a historical fiction romance. This actually was also a blind date in the book. This was kind of described as like Gilmore Girls vibes, so honestly both of these great blind date with the books. Just last night, obviously because of Haley Pham. Same with Love Interest. The rest of this is like YA and seasonal books. These are, yeah, just like YA summer books. I've read I think like 4 or 5 of Emma Lord's books, but these are the only 2 I read. I have yet to read The Getaway List. I think this came out last year. Becky Dean, again, this was like a summer one. This was She Studies Abroad in London, I think. And then this one is like abroad in Alaska. So I thought that'd be really fun. Again, more YA. Some Ellen Painters aren't, but I wanted to keep them together. And her new book actually came out yesterday, so shout out. Some K.L. Walther books. This book was a 5-star, The Summer of Broken Rules. And then Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon. And then this is the like seasonal section. So of course we have the Christmas tree and then this Lego set randomly. To All the Boys I've Loved, Alex Approximately. This is like a summer read and this cover is actually beautiful and I freaking loved that book. One of my favorite summer reads. And then this kind of goes from Christmas to summer. So summer and then all of these are Christmas for whatever reason. I have read like most of these, but there is a few like Mistletoe Mr. Right, this one and these 2 that I have not read yet. And then I haven't read these summer ones. I just feel like in the Christmas I read a lot more seasonal books than I do in the summer. I don't know why. All right, next shelf. This is kind of just like dark cover colored romance books and then YA mystery. This book I low-key kind of did not love, but this edition is too pretty to get rid of. So this deck starts with Elle Kennedy, which I have not read an Elle Kennedy book. I think these are even like the indie editions of the deal. I got them at half price. Mariana Zapata, her books scare me. They're just so long. And then some dark colored covers. I really want to read Before We Were Strangers. I feel like I'm just gonna love it. And then Boys of Tokyo. I have read all of them, but these are the only ones I own. You know, whatever, I don't have room for more. Lore Olympus, I read a little bit of it and then I kind of just forgot about it, so I need to try that again. This stack, again, kind of just like random. Literally, these are like YA mystery and the rest is romance. I think the second book to this, or another one by this author, came out yesterday, so that's really cool. I want to read this in the fall time. And yeah, Ghosted was such a good second chance book. I really want to reread it. And these are all YA mystery. Here is this stack. And then last shelf. I mentioned this in my other video, but I wanted Heartstopper on this shelf, but the books were like too tall or something, so it just didn't work out. We have Jennifer Lynn Barnes all the way over here. This is definitely my least favorite series of her, but like these 2, they're kind of tied because I don't remember much about the Inheritance games and this one was just insane. I love them both. And then these aren't YA, but the Dial A for Aunties. This is like a romance mystery series, absolutely loved. And then I have another book by this author, the Truly Devious series. This is like a romance. I forgot about it because it was on my TBR cart, so it's going here. And then some more YA mystery. This book was by Under the Deep up here, the arc I got. I honestly liked this one more. This was so fun. It's like a murder mystery on a cruise ship, but they're like kids studying abroad. And then we have historical fiction, which is slowly becoming one of my favorite genres. Lovely Wars, kind of like fantasy historical fiction. And here is this. Oh, that is, I don't think it's historical fiction, but it's just chilling there. Yeah, I have loved a lot of these books and a lot of them I also can't wait to read. All right, second shelf times. This is, I think, 100% fantasy. Let's get into it. First up, I always have to display these because it's just actually beautiful how they go together. Such a pretty set of books. And then here we have the Prison Healer trilogy, which this is one of my favorite fantasy series ever. It was just, in my eyes, perfect. I feel like a lot of people kind of think it's boring, but to me it was perfection. Six of Crows, another favorite. Shadow and Bone, not as good as Six of Crows, but still good. And then the like one that comes after after it, which I have not read yet. I don't know why. I feel like I definitely need to reread the other 5 before I do that. Back here I have my Divine Rivals books, some of my favorite books of all time. This is actually the UK edition. I had to buy that secondhand off Mercari because I love this book series so much. This is a book series I could reread like once every 6 months and be so satisfied. And then we have the, what's this called? The Shepherd King duology. Such a good duology. I love a fantasy duology that can like get everything done in 2 books. You know what I mean? Dance of Thieves, another duology, and these covers are beautiful. Kiss of Deception series, this goes before the Dance of Thieves duology, and I'd recommend reading it first. I love all of these books so much, and why do I want to reread them right now? Because I've been in such a fantasy slump this whole year, really. I've read like none. Normally I read a lot more. The Powerless series, I am not the biggest fan of this series, but it just got so much worse and worse. Like this was, oh, yep. These 2 were the best. Another Leigh Bardugo book. I wanted to keep this by her other ones. And then randomly A Deadly Education, because it was the skinniest fantasy book I had and it fit there. Down here, the Once Upon a Heart duology trilogy. Absolutely love this trilogy. Just such good vibes. The Caraval trilogy. Honestly, when I read this, it kind of feels like a fever dream and I don't remember much about it. Maybe I should reread it. Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. I just keep finishing this series off. I don't know, I didn't really love the first book, but I really want to get to Throne of the Fallen, so I think that's my motivation. The Rose Bargain, can't wait for the second book. Randomly, I have Rebel Witch here. I don't own the first one, and I don't know, it just fit there, I guess. And these are just some more YA fantasy books. Like, this is not YA, and I don't think these are, but the other ones are. Oh my gosh. This is also by Lynette Nani, who wrote the Prison Healer series. One of my favorite fantasy series ever. Such a good and developed series. Absolutely love. I'm really excited for the second book to come out. This was my first ever book club book with my friends, so that has a special place in my heart. And then down here, this is kind of like an Orange Ombre situation-ish. 5 Broken Blades, which I think the second one came out yesterday as well. Priority of the Orange Tree. I'm scared of this book. Honestly, don't know why I bought it. Well, it was like 2 years ago, but still. Poppy War, I think I'm going to read this on Kindle Unlimited soon. I've just heard such amazing things about it. I also really want to get to Tahara Mafi's other series because I did not love the Shatter Me series, but this one sounds a lot more interesting to me. Vicious V.E. Schwab. The only book I've read by her, I think, is Addie LaRue. Emperor in the Ashes, one of my favorite series ever. I originally read them. These were the first ever audiobooks I ever listened to. I got them all from the Libby app, and I did puzzles the whole time I listened, and it was a great time. Nevernight, my dad made me read this, and it was good. I still have not continued the series, though. It's just like a higher up fantasy, and I feel like I'm definitely more like a YA fantasy girly. Blood of Hercules, really want to get to this. It has beautiful artwork in it. Scythe, this just sounds so cool. Serpent the Wings of the Night, such a good series too, and I'm really excited to get to the spin-off soon. I kept these 2 together because they're both like faded vibe books. I'm so excited to get to both these. Emmy loves this book and raves about it, so I can't wait to read that. I bought it because of her. This edition is just beautiful. Gilded Wolves, this book is Six of Crows vibes, but I didn't love it as much as Six of Crows, and I definitely read it when I was in a slump, and I don't think I gave it the chance it deserves. Belladonna is just a book I feel like I'll love. We have some Lauren Thalassa. I read Bewitched by her, and then I kind of went crazy and bought her other series. Don't really know why. More fantasy books, and then the Red Rising trilogy, which also scares me to continue. Okay, last fantasy shelf. Here we have Daughter of the Pirate King. That was a good duology. The 1000th Floor, Grimmel's Girls. I got this recommended to me from Bestie Tiffany. I'm really excited to get to that. Furyborn, Kiss of the Selkie. This is like that Entangled with Fae series, the like Cinderella, Ariel retellings. This is, I don't think it's the first one, but it is the Little Mermaid retelling, and that is my favorite Disney princess movie. Picked that one first, and then my Holly Black books, and then randomly that one just because it matches. Phantasma, and then the Tracy Dion book. I still need to read the second one. I have not yet, but I really enjoyed Phantasma. These 2, I really enjoyed Legendborn, but I still have not continued it for whatever reason. I think because now at this point it's been too long that I have to go back and reread Legendborn because I read it before this was out, so I was like waiting for it, and then I kept pushing off, and now it's just like I have to reread it. Some more like start of YA series. Actually, this is like all it is, but these 2 again, I still need to finish the second one. Ugh, I just suck at continuing series.
I didn't get that.
Bro, I'm not talking to you, Siri. Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I finished the Lunar Chronicles this year, and I also read Heartless by her, so I'm really excited to read more of her work. And then Babel, this book scares me. Okay, next up is my TBR cart, which like, the books are all on my TBR, but they're not like my immediate TBR, and I just didn't have room for them anywhere else. That's what this is. And it is completely random. The Let Them Theory. The Maidens. Ninth House. Simple, wild. The UK edition I got at a garage sale of Happy Place. I actually just DNF'd this because I just have not had the brain capacity to read more than a romance. This is my book club book right now, and I actually found it at a garage sale, so that was awesome. The Light Lark series, Defy the Night, and Night Circus. And then on the other side, we just have these, and then Flamecaster. And then I thought I'd show you like the books I've been keeping on my nightstand just because I'm either reading them or I want to read them immediately. This book I'm currently reading, I'm just gonna put this by my summer reads. I left a little gap. She gets like notes from her grandma and then goes to Nantucket to try and find out more about her. Sorry, the air kicked on. And then this also just came out yesterday, Jessa Hastings' new book. I don't know where I'm gonna put this because there's no room up there by her, but maybe I can make some room somehow. And just look at the back, it's beautiful. Then a summer Kristen Hanna book. This book sounds so good. It's like very family drama-y, so I thought this would be a great time. And then Lynn Painter's new book, Made for Each Other. I wasn't gonna get this, but I read the back and I was like, wait, I need to read that. Okay guys, that is my bookshelf tour. If you like my shelf, tell me. If you don't like them, don't tell me. But yeah, let me know how you guys organize your shelves, by color, by author, whatever. Personally, I love like a rainbow color organized, but my brain can't handle it when authors aren't together. So like I try and do both, and I also just mix my physical TBR and regular TBR because again, authors and series. So yeah, let me know if you separate your physical TBR and also read books and how you do it, and I would love to know. And I'll see you guys next week.